Thanks to the supporters of channel member Patrick Topor. We're having a sort of rough start to the season. The new tactic didn't really work. The new signings are taking a little while to bed in, and we're not even in the European qualification spots at the moment. But don't worry, we get to play Paris Saint-Germain now. Hello and welcome to Club 3, Part 10 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have that Champions League game against Paris Saint-Germain, and then hopefully we'll win a game in the league. We'll play Augsburg. I just want to win a game and show you me winning a game, because we are struggling a little bit. It's been one of those weeks in this save. I don't really want to talk about it. Life at Dortmund started so well, and now I've spent more money than I've ever had available in the save. And if anything, the team is in worse shape now than it was 6 months ago, which is alarming because objectively the squad is much better. But as you can see, after the start in yesterday's episode where we had the couple of draws against very good teams, we did beat Mainz, but then we lost to Hamburg, really struggled against Juventus. We did beat, now I've been told I say this very wrong, Bochum? I mean, I'm English, so I'm going to say it. And we did beat them relatively comfortably. But as you can see, we did that going back to the 4-2-3-1. The 4-2-4 was awful against Hamburg. And what you're not seeing there is loads of goals for Conor Egan. He got a couple there, but he's falling down the pecking order, which is a little bit of a shame because I wanted him to work out. It hasn't really so far. So this is what the Bundesliga looks like. I know we're only 5 games in, but we're already 4 points off the top of the league, already 3 points behind last season's champions Bayer Leverkusen. We're behind Bayern Munich, and most importantly, Schalke have nearly caught us up, and we're not even in the European qualification spots. So we do need to get a few wins together, and hopefully Conor Egan is the man to lead us to those wins. Oh, did I mention as well, I've messed up dynamics by having a squad that's too big. Didn't really give that any thought at all during the summer, and that could be a problem. Nobody's starting a mutiny yet. If I'd have done this in the first couple of months of FM24 being out, where squad mutinies were the huge thing before it got patched, I would be fired by November in this save. I think I might be able to ride it out, but there are a lot of players there who probably need to be moved on, or the players that are in the squad ahead of them need to be moved on because they're not in our Champions League squads and they are going to get grumpy about it. So because we've sold off all our young players to pay for all this talent, which again, not the smartest thing I could have done. We're not even able to fill our bench in the Champions League. It's going well. How are Burton getting on? I hope they're suffering without me. And it's not just me they are. Thank goodness. It's not just me having a hard time. Burton, bless them, they're probably going to get relegated this year, aren't they? It's just not the same. It's not the same without your old pal Kev there. But let's go beat Paris Saint-Germain. We're away against Paris Saint-Germain. What could possibly go wrong? It's Ribeiro in goal. A back four of Van Veen, Garcia, Schikowski and Borches. Van Eijma, my boy Stallone Van Eijma, the one bright point of all of this. He's going to be incredible. Van Eijma and Maui in midfield. Adeyemi, Carrier and Herrera supporting Conor Egan up front. If we don't get a performance out of Conor Egan today, Emil Hiskey, no idea. He's match fit. Well, he's not match fit, but he's fit. So we can give him a little bit of a run now. Obviously, if we were playing 2 up top, he'd probably already be in. Big Kev is lurking as well. Conor Egan's not going to get many more chances to be our lone starting striker if he doesn't start scoring hat-tricks every game like I was expecting him to. But there is Stallone at the back, playing in that defensive midfield position at 17 years old. I dream he's going to be incredible. But I might not be here to enjoy it because we're losing inside the first 3 minutes. Lovely. This was supposed to be... the whole point of coming to Dortmund was that we would just start winning things. What's going on? It's fine. I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't be worried about it. Burton aren't even in the Champions League, so it's definitely still the right decision to come here. It's all absolutely fine. Right, let's play the ball out from the back ever so nicely. Come on, boys. There we go. It's with Borches. He plays it forward to Herrera, and that's back to Stallone again. Oh, he's given the ball away. This is what happens when you play a 17-year-old away against Paris Saint-Germain, I guess, as your holding midfield player. One of the most crucial positions in the entire team, especially in this version of the FM match engine. Holding midfielders are like the most important thing in midfield. They've got Pedri at Paris Saint-Germain. They've also got Verbruggen off of Brighton in goal. And it's another team who are playing this really, really narrow system. This is what we struggle against. Obviously, you saw it in the Champions League final. But on the face of it, it looks fairly wide. But then you see they've got an inverted wing-back, an inverted full-back, an inside forward, and an inverted winger. The Mazzala might drift wide a bit. But really, they're just absolutely condensing the middle of the pitch. And we don't know what to do when we come up against teams who do that to us. It's very similar to the Champions League final again. So I am going to do what everybody told me to do in the Champions League final when I read the comments to that. I haven't got it trained, so I'm going to repeat that mistake from the past. But we're just going to go super wide, wing play, 4-2-4, and just get it out wide and see if we can get around these really, really narrow systems that we're struggling with, and we don't have the quality to play through them. And it is alarming because Carrier, as our centre attacking midfielder, is our best player, and he doesn't seem to have the ability to break these systems down. But we can shuffle around and keep these players on the pitch. 2 wingers, 2 attacking fullbacks as well. So let's get Van Veen pushing forward. Let's get Borches forward as a wing back as well. Get them properly up there, overlapping. Sweeper keeper in goal. Garcia can still be a ball playing defender. And then we keep those 2 on those roles that they were already on. We'll tell Adeyemi to be a pressing forward. Egan can play as the advance forward. We're going to go attacking, so we've got to get ourselves back into the game. So we're overlapping on both sides. We're getting the ball out wide. And, I mean, it's not going to be pretty. This is the kind of system I use when I play in non-league. But we are just going to try and get the ball out wide around the side of them. We're probably going to bring Big Kev on fairly early in this second half as well, just to get him on the end of these crosses. But we'll give Adeyemi and Egan a chance to do it first, but we've got to have a counter to these horribly narrow systems we're all of a sudden coming up against. Brilliant. 13 seconds. And it's an own goal as well. Oh, that's even better. Well, okay. Oh, it's fine. I'm going to berate them. I never berate, but I am berating them, which is a little bit harsh because Paris Saint-Germain are very, very good. But we got to the final of this competition last year, and we have been awful in it this year. We've had a poor start to the season. The new players aren't really settling in. I am the definition of the small club manager who's gone into a big club, got giddy spending money on players he didn't really need, and has created his own problems. This is the first proper test we've had in non-league, dare I say, in non-league legend at all so far. It's been pretty easy up until this point, hasn't it? I might have balls this club up, though. That's poor from Carrier. And now Herrera plays it back, looking for anyone with a foot to kick the ball. Right, Adeyemi is coming off. And in fact, no, Egan's awful. You know what? They're both coming off. We're bringing on Big Kev and we're bringing on Emil Hiskey. And we're going to see what they can do. We're going to play him as an inside forward because he's too good to be out there as a winger. Van Veen's going to come around him, so he'll cut in as well. Van Veen will come up around him. We probably need to have him on an attacking instruction, get him right up here, getting the crosses in for Deda. Can he play as a target man? I mean, he probably can, can't he? Should we get him in as a target man? Target man, and Emil Hiskey wants to be an advance forward. Right, there you go. We're trying something different. Big man, little man. Big man, fast man. Wingers, get it in there. I mean, I'm the Englishman abroad. We've gone full 4-4. Brilliant. Absolutely, but we don't even get to see who got on the end of the corner. Absolutely superb. Right, Carrier needs to come off. And so the 2 wingers. We've decided to go with wingers, and the 2 wingers are now shattered. So we can bring. I mean, we have got players who can come on and play wide. It's not a disaster, but it's also not ideal. Right? He can be a winger. He can be then he can be the inside forward. We'll switch it around the other side. We'll continue attacking. Come on, boys. Please do something for me. We're demanding more. We've still only had one shot on target in the match. We've been poor. It's no surprise we've been poor. We've never played this system before. We probably should start training it for when we come up against these teams that just go super narrow. But I think, I feel, if anything, I feel vindicated that it wasn't my fault what happened in the Champions League. We... going wide wouldn't have helped us against Inter either. These super narrow systems, I think it's just we don't have the quality. How poor is the Bundesliga compared to the rest of European football? Because every time we come up against a good European team, I mean, we ran through to the final by beating German teams and Ajax. We just played out of the game against Inter. It was the same against Juventus in our first group game that you didn't see. You've seen it here again against Paris Saint-Germain. Every time we play against a top European side, we are absolutely toothless. Luckily, I don't think we have any really big matches in Europe in our group stage. Now, Fenerbahce, AEK, Torino, Man United might be a problem. Brighton in the Champions League, interesting. And then Svezda. We should still qualify for the knockout rounds, but this has not been the best start to the season. Right, we're going back to this for the league. It's the Gegen pressing version of the 4-2-4, not the wing play one. We are also training a 4-3-3 fluid counter-attack, which I am going to refer to as the midfield buster, for if we come up against a horrible team playing that horrible narrow system again. But the reason we're switching to this, I really still want Connor Egan to work out, but I also want to have a look at Emil Hiskey. And also Carrier needs a rest. He's in poor form. He's not playing very well. We're resting a few of the players who've just played really poorly in those last couple of matches, trying a few different players, and fingers crossed will have a good performance. Ribeiro in goal, a back four of Colombo, Garcia, Moorman and Ferreira. Dukic and Van Eijsma in midfield. Moreira and Herrera as the wingers. And then Egan and Hiskey. Husky? What does the little accent? I don't know. No idea. Emil's going to be up front. It's still confusing because we do still have Emil Smith-Rowe. He doesn't get a look in, but he is still here. So we've got multiple Emils. One of them's not called Emil, but he's not the one that we call Emil. It's complicated. Right, 4-2-4. Please work, because I want a two-striker system to work for me this year. And I do know as well that at some point I need to just commit to a system and stick with it and ride it out. I need to practice what I preach. I mean, if I was doing an FM tutorial video here, I would absolutely be saying, work out what your best 11 is, put them together, play them together for 6 or 8 matches and don't look at the results, which is easy to do when you're taking over a National League North club who are supposed to finish mid-table, because you can have a rough run while they play into that system. It's much harder to do at Dortmund when you've spent 500 million pounds and you're expected to win something this season. You can't really go 6 games trying to bed in a new system, and that's one of the difficulties of managing at a bigger club. So it's fine. This is the system we wanted in the summer. This is the system that's going to work. And Hiskey, unable to keep his head down. I think he could go on to become the best striker in the world if we use him right, if we develop him right. That is an incredible strike partnership. You look at those two on paper, that's a 60-goal-a-season partnership. Then you've got Big Kev ready to come off the bench, and we've still got Makoko and Adeyemi here as well. We should not be struggling to score goals the way we are. That's good work from Egan there. A little bit of tracking back, a little bit of pressing forward work. I like that. That's the best thing I've seen Egan do since he's been here. It has directly led to us conceding a goal, though. So that's nice. The referee, I think, is going to disallow it. Please disallow it, referee. I'm on the verge of getting quite sad at this point. Excellent. Okay, no need for sadness just yet. Oh, please. This lot, I mean, they're bottom of the league, Augsburg. Probably should mention that. They are awful. We have no excuses if we don't beat them. Egan plays it out wide to Herrera. Just get the ball into the middle. We've got so much firepower in there, and it's bobbling around. And there's Emil Hiskey, and there's a goal from him. Beautiful stuff. 1-0 Dortmund. The strike partnership worked, playing the wingers worked. Cross comes in, chaos in the area, and one of our excellent young strikers is there to tuck it home. We shouldn't be having to wait as long as we have against a team like Augsburg to take the lead. But you know what? The form we're in, I don't care how we beat these teams as long as we beat them. And look what a difference another win would make. We'd be right back up in the mix, up to third place as it stands, only 3 points behind Leverkusen at the top of the league. After 6 games of trying multiple different tactics and getting a little stressed, I absolutely take that. The board, remember, aren't actually looking for me to win the league this year. They'd be happy just for top 4 again. So it's me putting the pressure on myself to be in a title race that we don't actually need to be in. And we only need to reach the knockout rounds of the Champions League. So maybe maybe my aspirations for Dortmund are a little bit too high and we're actually not as good as I think we are because of that whole Bundesliga, not as good as the other leagues thing. Who knows? Oh, if that had gone in the top corner, oh, that would have been lovely. Oh, that would have taken all the pain away. It remains 1-0 though. And Augsburg still bottom of the league with 0. I mean, imagine if we don't beat them. They've lost every game this season and we're struggling to get past them. This is not the good performance I think it is yet, is it? Right, Hasenbegovic is going to come on that right-hand side. We're going to bring on Mikoko on the left-hand side. We've now abandoned the idea of wingers and we're basically playing 4 strikers. Colombo's going to come off for Nadzek at left-back, who, you know what? Let him do what he wants to do. He wants to be an inverted wing-back. Let him be an inverted wing-back. Why not? What's the harm? What's the worst that can happen? Everyone else is doing it. Look, literally, everyone else is doing it. Everyone's inverting their wing-backs, their full-backs. We may as well get involved. We did a lot of this during the beta, and I kind of established it wasn't as good as playing traditional roles there. But maybe I'm having a change of heart. Maybe things have changed. Let's change the midfielders over. There we go. And I can't believe we're still only 1-0 up. I want to shout at them because this is not acceptable, but a win is a win. So I'm going to give them all hugs as they come off the pitch if this is how the match ends. Gonzalez with the free kick. Please just stick it in that gap the goalkeeper's left. He does. Oh, right. Now I can offer them some praise. Well done, boys. We're 2-0 up against the worst team in the league by far. But at least, I mean, this is back-to-back league wins. So forget what's happened there in the Champions League. It's not as bad as I'm making out. I'm panicking unnecessarily. My expectations were too high. Once this team settles, once team cohesion is up, once we get used to these new tactics, we're going to be rolling. We're going to be fine. Right. Look, there is Nadzak playing his little inverted wing-back role. Look at him. It's like a little Zinchenko in there. It's beautiful. Right. Ferrara. Playing it back to Nesid. And there is that. Oh, I'm a tactical genius. Oh, everything is right with the world. We've done a tactical tweak and it's led to a wonder goal. Kev knows, everybody. Oh, that's lovely. Lovely. Look, he's just lurking in there like an attacking midfielder. Perhaps this is how you break down the narrow teams. If you can't beat them, join them. Get your wing backs playing as attacking midfielders. What's the worst that can happen? 3-0 absolutely flatters us based on the actual performance, but is the scoreline we should have got as a minimum going in. It gets us right back in the mix at the top of the table. That will do nicely. Panic over. Now we just need to win some Champions League games. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.